As the train pulled into Champ de Mars train station, we took our first walk in Paris after a long flight. I was struck by the magic that I feel in only a few cities that I've ever visited. On that first night, and for every day on this trip, I thought about how to put into words and to photographs what exactly is that magic. How did it come to be? How can one city possess so many of the world's wonders? When I think of Paris, it is not just one aspect of the city that jumps out to you, but it's a plethora of offerings, the art, the history, the cafes, the shops, the side streets, and on and on. Paris plays perfectly into my preferred way of exploring urban life. Wandering through site to site, camera in hand, stumbling upon something unexpected almost around every corner. Once you have seen what you feel obligated to see, you can't go to Paris without seeing the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, etc. You can wander about without the pressures of what you should do, without the worry of missing out on the most famous sites, even if there is always more on that list. In a place like Paris, it is impossible not to bump into something famous everywhere you turn. High on my list was the visit to the Sacré-Cœur Basilica and its Bohemian neighborhood. This white basilica dominates the Parisian skyline. If you follow the cobblestone streets to the highest point in Paris, you'll arrive at the Sacred Heart Basilica. Breathtaking views are offered in all directions. Before you visit the nearby crooked ivy-clad buildings where artists paint and display their works, sit on the steps and gaze out to the city. Listen to the local musicians transport you into another realm of time. You'll be surprised how fast this experience passes. Some of the main attractions of Paris are even more beautiful at night or early morning, long after the crowds have gone. Notre Dame is breathtaking every time we saw it. Being able to leisurely stroll around it, seeing it from front to back, or from right underneath the towering facade itself, to across the street from the sign, warms your heart and eyes every time. Perched high atop the towers of the cathedral are ornamental stone statues that peer over the Paris landscape, the gargoyles. They're built to channel the rainwater away from the foundation, but today they tolerate the prying eyes and camera clickers, like me, who ascend the 387 steps to catch an up-close glimpse of these stone marvels. Catching a personal glimpse of these silent creatures was one of the highlights of my Paris trip, and well worth the climb to the top. My favorite time to wander the city, to see it in its best light, is as the sun goes down from dusk into the night. There is something about the mixture of the last embers of the fading natural light with the awakening lamps and neon signs that always draws my eye. Paris, the city of light, truly shines as the day turns into night. No other structure struts its feathers as proud as a peacock like the Eiffel Tower does. This monument sits in the heart of Paris, guarding the waterways of the Seine River. All things are focused on this world landmark. It's ever-present, morning, noon, and night. Its all-seeing eye looks upon the Parisian landscape in all directions. Each night we strode to its promenade with cheese and baguettes and sat and watched it sparkle and shine, and it never disappointed. One morning from atop the tower, I looked down on the city below me. Little buildings, little cars, reaching out as far as the eye could see. I knew then why people loved Paris, or maybe why they didn't. It was beautiful for sure, even beyond belief. It was confusing, it was chaotic, but quaint and delightful. Little stressful, parts of it dirty, but others immaculate, and definitely overcrowded. But it was also a place where you could disappear into a world of your own. You could create your own story. You could be small, yet still know that you mattered. You could paint your own picture every day. But that's the dichotomy of it all, because you could do that wherever you decide is best for you.